No rules, no boundaries. He doesn't flinch at torture, human trafficking, or genocide. He's not loyal to a flag or a country.
Yes, I have another model, okay? I'm not consistent. I've said this a million times before. Link is in the description for the model. If you want to buy it, you can customize it. There's still updates to be done. Support the artist. They're awesome. They put in a lot of work into it and still continue to do so. Okay, cool. I'm trying to live by this new rule, right? I'm trying to live by this new rule that I don't need other people's validation. That's kind of what I've decided. And I have my reasons, obviously, for coming to this conclusion. But I think it's something that that I think everyone could benefit from. Obviously, it's not the easiest thing to just, like, do. You know, you don't just go, oh, well, I don't need anyone's validation now. I'm good. Everything's wonderful and fantastic and snazzy and amazing. It takes time, obviously, like a lot of these, like, rewiring your brain shit things do. They take time. They're not always going to be quick and easy overnight changes. I still struggle with it myself. But from the little bit of progress that I have made, it's been good. If anything, it's kind of just like taught me a lot of stuff, right? I didn't like struggle. I feel like this is this might be a fairly common thing where I didn't feel too much like I needed the validation when I was a lot younger, when I was a little kid, right? I didn't really care if other people didn't like the things that I liked. Yeah, obviously it was great when I had things in common with other kids, but I also was just like, you know, if I don't like the things that they like, it is what it is. I love dinosaurs. Dude, I love dinosaurs. I like playing in dirt. You know, if some of the other kids don't like that, fine. I'm sure I'll find other kids who do enjoy playing in dirt and who do enjoy dinosaurs and like snakes and shit, right? I did feel that way though when it came to things like academics. I was convinced that I was like the dumbest fucking person ever. I was convinced that I was so retarded. I was convinced that everyone looked at me and thought that I was stupid and that it was a bad thing. It was a bad thing that I wasn't able to do the same things that others my age could do. And it wasn't just like with my peers, it was with my teachers and my, like at home, you know. It wasn't just I'm looking for validation from the people my age. I'm looking for validation from these adults because they're telling me up front that I don't have their validation and that it's a bad thing, basically. But then of course, as I got older, that only got worse in terms of literally every aspect of my life, every choice that I made, everything that I was interested in, everything that I wanted to achieve, everything that I just I liked, everything needed to be validated by other people. And if it wasn't, if someone didn't agree, if someone didn't see the point in it, then I would sit there and just rethink the whole thing. You know, and in hindsight, I'm like mad about it. I'm trying not to dwell on, you know, regrets, right? I'm trying not to dwell on what I should have done differently because I realize it's happened, it's gone, there's not much I can do about it. But in hindsight, I do get kind of annoyed when I think about this because of where I am now and how my choices, had I have gone for what I wanted to do, I could be somewhere completely different. I could be a lot better off, you know? But I needed the validation from the people around me, and I felt like, up until fairly recently, I guess, is if they weren't validating me, that meant that I was incorrect. And I had to do something different because it was the right thing to do, which is obviously not how that works at all. You can't determine what is right for somebody else, you know? And, you know, even now, there's times where I want to have that validation from the people that I, you know, look up to, or the people that I spent my life feeling like I had to make proud. Of course, I want to have that validation deep down, but at the same time, I'm getting better at just saying, fuck it, I don't care. If I think it's the right thing to do, I'm gonna do it. I've kind of learned as well that a lot of the time when searching for other people's validation, and this isn't always, I'm not gonna sit here and say that this is everyone or that this is every situation, because it's not, but there have been plenty of times where I've wanted to do something or I felt a certain way. When I've shared how I felt, the response I got was quite selfish. It was self-serving. It wasn't within my best interest. It was within the other person's, even though realistically they had nothing to do with it. So I realized that oftentimes, like, looking for this validation in these people it's just not worth it, you know? A lot of the times these people don't actually give a fuck about you and what your goals are. It's discouraging when you have a goal and like people are like, nah, you shouldn't do that, you can't do that, or they're just constantly like disagreeing with what you're saying. They're not validating you, essentially. That's hard to deal with, because then you're sitting there thinking, well, fuck, what do I do then? This is what I want to do. This is how I feel. I think this is going to be good for me. Sometimes it is just a case of constructive criticism, which perfectly fine. But you have these people who just straight up tell you no, you know, as if almost it's their decision to make. And so essentially what I've stopped doing is I've stopped telling people things that like I'm planning on doing, and I've stopped asking what their opinions are if I genuinely don't feel the need to have it. Obviously people do like to give their opinions when you didn't ask, but a lot of the times I'll have my mind set on something, so I don't see the need to share that. I don't feel like I need to justify it. I don't feel like I need to tell everybody and then be convinced out of it or be convinced to do it. I don't feel the need to do that. I feel like it's the right thing to do, so I'm gonna do it. It feels so good to actually do that. And obviously there are the people who will be like, well, I told you so, if, you know, if it does go wrong. Like, I don't take it seriously. You know, if you didn't agree with what I was planning on doing and then it ended up fucking up on my end, then sure, you can by all means laugh and be like, I told you so, but ultimately I wouldn't have known. I wouldn't have known if I hadn't tried it. So yeah, I'm learning now to just stop like worrying about, you know, what will this person think if I do it, if I do this and that and the third. Like, a fun example, YouTube. I get afraid to like make videos and stuff because I'm thinking, oh well, you know, there's certain people who will see that I've uploaded and they'll think X, Y, and Z, and it's like, why should I care about that? Realistically, like, why should I worry? They're not the ones uploading it. If they wouldn't upload this type of video, then fine, cool. I'm not them. Really sit there and think about the decisions that you're making and the things that you're doing, and if they're really what you want, or if you're just doing it for someone else's validation. Does it make you happy? If not, then why are you doing it? Because at the end of the day, other people's validation doesn't make you. You make you, right? The thing that I always think about is like, if everyone that I knew just like dropped off the face of the earth, the only person left that I would know is me. So why am I trying so hard to please everybody else and to be what everyone else thinks I should be, when I would just be really unhappy with myself if I only had me left? There's just no point. It feels good to have people like tell you that they're proud of you, or tell you that they think you're doing the right thing, or whatever the case may be. But if you're not proud of yourself, if you don't feel like you're doing the right thing, then why does it matter? This is once again another one of those where I actually don't know if what I said made any sense. So I'm gonna go cuddle my dog and drink my monster and probably leave you with a fun meme.